This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about. Real, honest, entertaining, live. DBL starts right now.
3, 2. Welcome to Daily Blast Live. It's Friday, January 3rd. I'm here with Brandon and Stephanie. I'm Jeff. Erica has the night off. She will be back on Monday. She is missed.
Can't wait to get the entire gang back together.
For
It's been a while, hasn't it?
That's right. All right. Well, stay tuned for that on Monday. But right now, award season has kicked off in a star-studded way. Jennifer Lopez, Charlize Theron, Renee Zellweger, Salma Hayek, and more all hit the red carpet at the Palm Springs International Film Festival yesterday. Meantime, the Golden Globes are this Sunday, and Ricky Gervais will host for the 5th time. NBC says they have no idea what he's going to do, but do you think his off-color jokes will help or hurt the ratings?
I think they're going to only help. I mean, there's a reason he's hosted it the past 5 times. There's a reason they've asked him back again, and it's because he's sensational, he's funny, and you know what? I like that he's a bit outlandish because I want to know what he's going to come out with next. I enjoy it.
To be honest with you, I'm getting tired of all these award shows. I'm tuning in for Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
I want to see him push an envelope. I want the PC police to be crying in their keyboards come Monday, and I can't wait.
You just jumped on what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I was going to take a step, my inner Stephanie, and go, there's a reason why we're going to be talking about it the day after, because
Was that your British accent?
No, that was half.
That was kind of like a,
That was half and half. Yeah, that's East London, not South Side London. But I think, yes, he's going to push the envelope, and like you said, the PC police are going to go crazy about it, and it's going to be boycott 2021 Golden Globes or something like that. But they win. If he does it, they win, because we're going to talk about it.
I don't know. Are we going to be? I don't know. We'll see. We're going to be talking about money, but I hope he pushes that envelope.
Yeah.
I'm cheering for him. Have to. All right, let's also talk about predictions, because we're all big fans of that. What are you predicting that's going to happen?
I'm going to go J-Lo getting Best Supporting Actress for Hustlers.
Really?
Only because I haven't seen the movie yet, but only because Alex Rodriguez is fiance goals. I want to be him when I get married. At the film festival, he was Instagramming her while she was walking red carpet. And now this is the new Be London 2020, 20.20. And, you know, I just like how A-Rod has fallen in love. So I hope Jennifer Lopez wins. I like to see the power
What's
couple.
your prediction for 20.20?
20.20. Okay, so I'm the biggest Tarantino fan like ever, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood has to take it home. So that's nominated for the Best Motion Picture Comedy. The first time I saw it, you know, I wasn't as much of a fan, and then I watched it again for the second time, and I loved it. So I think, you know, it took me a little bit of a while. I was a bit disappointed in this first watching, because I love the gory of Tarantino. I love how gruesome he is, and it wasn't quite enough brutal for me.
Wow.
But the second,
even the ending, huh? I don't want to spoil anything.
Even the ending.
All right. I got to tell you, that
Maybe
was.
I have to watch again.
That was my pick. If she didn't pick it out, you know, they asked her first.
You love that movie.
I love that movie. I watched it again with my wife. Loved it. I love the storyline. I think you have to know a little bit about Charles Manson to enjoy what's going on in that story. But anyways, my pick is Succession. I don't know if you ever watched it. It's on HBO. It's up for Best TV Series Drama. It's funny. It's serious. A lot of suspense. Good TV show. Cheering for that.
I think they're 3 strong choices.
Well, let's see on Monday how we all come out. Here we go. Here we go, guys. Even though not a single female director was nominated for a Golden Globe in 2019, it was still a relatively big year for women behind the camera. In 2018, 4.5% of blockbusters were directed by women. But last year, almost 11% of the biggest movies had female directors. That's a record now. Movies like Little Women, Hustlers, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, and Harriet were all directed by women, and women also co-directed Frozen 2 and Captain Marvel, 2 of the most successful movies of 2019. So is Hollywood moving towards gender equality, Stephanie?
Okay, people are probably going to hate me for saying this, but I think they really are. I think probably if you're working heavily within that industry, you want to see more progression, but it does take time. And we look at like how much women have succeeded. So it was 4.5%, now it's 11%.
Right.
And I don't mean to say this in a bad way. Hustlers wasn't that much of a good movie. You're putting that against Quentin Tarantino, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. You're putting that against Joker. You're putting that up against Martin Scorsese with The Irishman. And then it's seriously Hustlers. Like, I'm sorry, I just don't think they hold up. I think the production was great. Yeah. I mean, we've seen some fantastic women directing. We saw in 2017, Wonder Woman was directed by Patty, what's her name, Jenkins.
Yes.
And that was the 3rd highest grossing movie of that year. So I think, are we getting there? there? Yes, we are, but it takes time.
Touche, and I think it is going to take time because as we continue to see a rise in female directors, I think we're going to see a rise in the type of movies and the quality of movies that you're talking about. Obviously, we talk about a Tarantino, we talk about a Scorsese. Those guys are legends.
Right.
We don't have a female director yet into where we can say is a legend like that. But we're going to keep going because remember, back in the day, no one wanted to do TV. No actors wanted to do TV. You go and that's the end of your career. Well, in the last 2 years, we've had 31% of a rise in female directors on TV, and TV's only getting better. So I can see it keep going with time, as you say.
I think it is, yeah.
Within the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be that female director that we're going to say, oh, she's going up against maybe Tarantino when he comes out of retirement or Scorsese, and we're going to be talking about that on this show.
So I think the problem is that obviously traditionally, you know, the big studios and the producers, they didn't want to give women the big budgets. They didn't feel as though they could cope with the pressure of a movie. But I think slowly but surely we are seeing that change, and it's taking the people like Patty Jenkins with Wonder Woman and the high numbers that are slowly chipping away at that. And like, you know, like everything, it just takes a bit of time.
The numbers don't lie. The numbers don't lie.
The numbers don't lie.
Look at my crew in 2020 with their stats.
Growth. Hashtag. We haven't seen Stephanie like
my people's all grown up.
Look at us. 20.20.
Brandon, what month is it? What month is this?
January, baby.
No, man, it's January. You know why? Because the Biebs is back with some brand new music.
Segue.
There you go. Justin Bieber dropped a new single called Yummy, and his new album comes out in March. Let's take a listen.
Yeah.
Yummy live up to its name. Did you hear this, Stephanie, today?
I've heard it, and also when I was on the way home on lunch break, I heard it on the radio, so I heard the whole thing because obviously due to copyright and law reasons, we can't play the whole thing.
Right.
But I really like it.
I like it. You were jamming.
I was jamming because you know what? At first I was like, you know what, Justin Bieber, Yummy. In my mind, you're talking about sexual relations, you know,
with his wife.
But at the same time, he's married. It's free sex. Talk all about the yummy you want to. Have a great time. And it's got that cool little vibe, you know, put the top down, grab a White Claw, but don't drink and drive, but have yourself a good time.
Huge fan of the Biebs. I love the Biebs. I wore Biebs socks today.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah, these are my Biebs socks, so I got those on today. I'm super excited for Biebs. I think it's going to be his year. He's got that docu-series coming out on YouTube. I loved Never Say Never. That sounds crazy.
And also say what your goal was this year. You put it on your manifestation list.
So I do. I write down all my goals, and at the top of it, people I want to interview this year is Justin Bieber. So might be the year. Might be the year for Biebs and Big Jeff.
Where's my phone? Let me see if I can call in a favor.
Could you do that for me?
No, I don't have that much.
But I'm happy for Biebs. I like that song, and I think it's going to be a good year for him. All right, guys, we're going to switch gears a little bit here. Did journalists go too far when they made fun of Blue Ivy Carter? Uh-oh. Here's a 7-year-old Blue with her mom, Beyonce, and the rapper Megan Thee Stallion. They were all partying on New Year's Eve, having fun right there. And one reporter tweeted, "I have a feeling the Jay-Z face jeans are about to really hit Blue Ivy, and I feel sorry for her." Wow. Another journalist said, "She'll just get plastic surgery at 16, a la Kylie Jenner, and we'll all have to pretend that she always looked that way. I can't allow myself to feel too sorry for the incredibly rich." They both deleted their tweets, and they both apologized. But me having kids, let me go first. This girl is 7 years old.
Yep.
When we first brought up this story, I had to ask twice, this is the wrong picture. How are you going to make fun of that picture, number one? Number two, I don't care if that's Jay-Z and Beyonce's kid, if that's your next door neighbor, if that's somebody at school's kid. You don't talk about anybody's children that way. You don't talk about a 7-year-old that way, and shame on them for being reporters and talking like that about a child. Because if they talked about my child like that, I'd have something to say about it. I'm sure Jay-Z and Beyonce are bigger people than that. They're not going to strike back, but shame on these people.
Yeah, and you know, they try to use that whole excuse of, you know, we're not popular enough for Jay-Z or for them to ever see this tweet or whatever. but now you are because you got retweeted. That's the power of social media. And I think we need to have some sort of show, or Vanity Fair needs to set something up where Jay-Z and Beyonce walks into those offices with cameras, and now you have to apologize right there in my face. Because the thing about social media, you can hide behind your avatar, your little Star Wars avatar, and you can talk all the junk in the world. But if you're not in a dark alley one-on-one with that person you want to talk about, don't tweet about. That's my rule.
I like that rule, but you're right. I don't think Jay-Z and Beyonce should do that.
They're not going to feed into that.
Yeah, to even give them the credit or the time.
Let the Beehive get them.
Yeah. Oh, the Beehive will go after them, that's for sure.
They did.
I just think it's such a sad state of affairs when someone's commenting like that, a fully grown adult that works in the media. They should know so much better. And social media is cruel enough as it is, and especially for a seven-year-old child, where you imagine every day she's going to be seeing things about her family, her parents, her life, how people perceive her. It's just really not okay on any level. People should know better. It's awful.
Yeah, I don't know what the repercussions are going to be, but I hope there's some. All right, guys, DBL is live, and coming up, we're chatting with the star of the original West Side Story. What does the leader of the Sharks think of the upcoming remake, and which celebrities dressed up and down for New Year's Eve? Stephanie has the answers next in Fashion Fix Friday.
Three, 2, 1. DBL Nation, we got that yummy, yummy, yummy tummy. I'm so funny. Coffee with honey. Bars. Justin, I listened to the entire song. It's a good song. You know, it's not gonna be on my playlist, but I feel like the Biebs is back, and we haven't heard. He hasn't dropped an album in about 4 years. So this is a great comeback with him. And we kind of said it yesterday about how we love how these artists are doing these docu-series and stuff, because we get a firsthand, we get the behind the scenes, the real behind the scenes.
Oh, you're talking
like
about Biebs doc?
Yeah, we don't get like that TMZ picture of them holding hands and it's all pixelated. We get like their videographer footage of them holding hands and talking about where they went, what studio that he shot in or he recorded in. I absolutely love it. So, you know, Biebs is back, baby.
I love it. And he tells we have to get up. He tells a story of, so he stopped his last tour, I think that was a couple years ago. Yeah. He stopped his last tour short, you know, because of his health and mentally and things like that. So he addresses that in the docuseries as well, and what made him get back to work and want to do all that
I
stuff.
tell you what, music is one of the only things where you can take 4 years off and then come back and produce a hit. Because you play professional football and you take a year off, let alone 2 to 3 to 4 years, you come back and you are garbage. Garbage. But hey, I guess that's one thing I wish that I had. You know, we always talk in the football locker room. We always used to say, like, would you rather run a low 340 or have a voice like Usher? And everyone, all the athletes would be like, yo, I want to sing like Usher.
Shakira's.
And sometimes most of the musicians or entertainers would be like, oh, I want to run 4.3, play football, that sort of thing. So, I mean, boy's got that golden gift, man, that voice.
Oh, that yummy, yummy?
Yeah, yummy.
Listen, I love Biebs. People can be like, why is this 41-year-old man all in the Biebs?
With socks on.
I dig it. These were a gift.
Would I be? Definitely sure.
4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to DBL. The stars dressed up and down for New Year's Eve, and bucket hats are back in style, can you believe? All this fashion talk must mean that it's time for Fashion Fix Friday. So it's the beginning of a brand new decade. So how did celebrities dress for the special occasion? Well, Lizzo told sequins and sparkles to walk right out the door and opted for a sleek black dress instead. And Kelly Ripa is dreaming of Jeannie in this sequin turban and black velvet dress. I mean, she looks like she might read your palm or something, but according to my predictions, this is a look that should not be staying. And finally, the Biebers entered 2020 in matching silk pajamas. These newlyweds dress more like my grandparents, seriously, but I guess, hey, at least they're comfy. And speaking of the new year, I've got a resolution to be brutally honest, just like John Legend and Chrissy Teigen's daughter Luna. Check out this video that Chrissy posted to Instagram.
Too much. Using too much. You're using too much makeup.
Do you think she has too much makeup on her face?
Yeah.
Well, was she wrong? It was too much makeup. And let's just bring up that picture of Kelly one more time. As Luna would say, that is too much. Definitely, Kelly, too much. And finally, pop star Billie Eilish is known for a style that breaks all the rules. And now you lucky lot can dress just like her, no matter the age, all thanks to a collaboration with H&M. Oh yes, and this beauty is one of those items you can purchase for a mere $13. I mean, I would just suggest rummaging through your granddad's basement, find his old fishing bucket hat and whack that on your head for free instead. What do you guys reckon? I mean, can you seriously believe that bucket hats are apparently cool again?
Here's the thing about bucket hats, and because I used to play football with a lot of players from Florida, and they had dreads, and they would cut out the top, and then their dreads would be coming out. Like, oh, that was cool. That was cool.
That is never cool.
Do you think Brandon could rock a bucket hat?
I don't think anyone in their right mind can rock a bucket hat unless you're literally sat at the side of a bank trying to catch a trout for your dinner. There's just no need. There's just no need.
I don't eat trout. I like bass.
Well, it's just not happening, Brandon.
Okay.
They're staying in the basement. If anyone rocks up here with one, I'll be very disgusted.
Okay, I'm not
Great job, Steph. Coming up on DBL, we are going one-on-one with Bernardo from the West Side Story. Find out what Oscar winner George Chakiris thinks of the new remake that's coming up next.
When signing and dating legal documents, do not use 20 as the year 2020. That post from a police department, and it's just one example of the post we've seen. Basic idea, when you write the date, like January 1st, 2020, make sure you write out the full year, 2020, and don't shorten it to just 20. Why? Well, the argument is that it's incredibly easy for someone to take that 20 and change it to any other year this century. Say you write a check for February 1st, 20, and you pay someone with it. They write 2021 or 2022 and cash it years later when you don't expect it. Or what about a legal contract? You agree to a job starting April 1st, 20 and ending June 1st, 20. Then they change it to say you started in 2019 and don't end until 2024. Yeah, it's a frightening concept that a fraudster could just completely change the date. But would it actually work? Well, it definitely could. For checks, there are laws regarding their expiration. The U.S. Uniform Commercial Code, for instance, says banks don't have to honor a check after 6 months. So a check in February can only be cashed through August, right? Well, not if you just put 20. Now, they could write 2021 and cash it from February through August of the next year and on and on. Simply put, this would be hard to stop. So these posts are good advice. It's worth taking the extra half second to write out the full year 2020. But keep in mind, in our digital age, it's increasingly easier to fake photos, videos, and even documents. Someone can still digitally edit something to defraud you, even if you wrote the full date. Now, we're not saying that to scare you, more to point out that while this tip is a good one, it's also great advice to keep your own copies of documents and agreements. If you take a picture of a check or legal agreement, you have proof that something was changed, which will make getting it fixed a whole lot easier. With your Verify, I'm Jason Puckett.
Welcome back to DBL. 60 years ago, West Side Story was released in theaters, and snapping has never been the same. Now, the musical is making a big comeback this year under the direction of Steven Spielberg, and our own Tori Schumann sat down with the original Bernardo, George Chakiris, and George shares his thoughts on the remake and today's Chatting with.
Hi everyone, I am so honored to be here with George Chakiris. I'm about to interview the man of my dreams. Please welcome George Chakiris. Hello.
Hey, hi. Good morning.
Good morning. I'm like very starstruck right now.
Good to be here with you.
Thank you, and it's good to see you. It's been almost 60 years since the West Side Story hit theaters, and we're still talking about it. So, did you realize you were in something that big when you were doing it?
You know, what I remember is, first of all, we all really felt really good about what we were doing. Nobody verbalized it, but we really we felt it was good stuff, you know. And I remember one day between takes, I was standing out in the alleyway with a couple of the kids, and there were two of the men from the front office, like in suits, and I heard one of them say, let's see, we don't know if we'll have a commercial success, but we feel we might have an artistic success.
Now, the song America still has a lot of edge and sort of bite to it. How edgy was it or controversial back then was it, America?
To my recollection, it wasn't controversial at all.
Right.
It's because it's not politicians talking, it's the people. Guys and the girls, and you could pick any city or any country and interpose those kinds of lyrics. But the situation is the young guys and the girls saying, "Oh, it's so good there." No, it's better here. You know, it's not controversial.
At all.
My understanding is that because of Steven Spielberg's production, that he has politicized it
Yes.
in the way he's casting and all that, and that's, of course, that's great. But in my opinion, unnecessary. I personally am not comfortable with that, but because I don't think you need it at all. I'm not sure, but I would be disappointed if he didn't first pay absolute respect and thank you guys for creating this piece, because Steven Spielberg has not created West Side Story.
Now, even the movie's very old, but we still have some fans. We wanted to read you some tweets from fans of yours. Okay, George Chakiris in West Side Story as Bernardo in that black and purple suit makes me feel things. I mean, it was a very sort of sensual, I saw it as a kid and I was like, oh, I'm feeling things.
The black suit with the purple shirt, designed by Irene Sheriff. I remember one day going from my dressing room as I was walking to the set, and suddenly, at that moment, that suit felt so good to me.
Did it?
Oh, wow.
There was some swagger. I wanted to ask you if you could show me how you snap. Just the move this way? Do you do it this way, or do you do it this way? Do you remember?
I don't remember.
That was good.
We were moving along, you know.
It was amazing.
But it wasn't either of those ways.
No.
It was just
kind of an attitude.
A snap is used to punctuate.
Right.
And and not just to punctuate. So we used it in the beginning of the prologue, coming down the street. It was used in some of the scenes.
Right. It was a motif. I mean, it was important, that snap.
Yes.
You know, the swagger.
Yeah, and we have really good snaps.
Good snap.
It's not so good right now.
No, they're waking up. They're waking up. Thank you so much. Such an honor.
Thank you, Annie Tate. Thanks. Thanks very much. Thank you.
We'll be right back.
Promotional consideration is brought to you by
Good Hair.
Hey guys, welcome back to Beauty Blast. Today we're talking another makeup mistake that most of you are actually doing. It is the nastiest one of all, if you ask me. Yes, my friend, it's using an old, nasty, dirty butt beauty blender. These are terrible for you. Now, they're not always terrible, so let's break it down real quick. You can use beauty blenders, friends. Now, you can use them brand new. They're great that way. Get them a little wet, they help blend out all that full coverage makeup, and it's seamless. Perfect, keep them moving. You can also use beauty blenders if you're washing them occasionally. These are great. They're a great help when you wash them because they're keeping everything sanitary. Now you can buy a liquid cleanser or you can buy the hard cleanser to actually keep these guys nice and clean, and it'll make a world of difference. But the last thing that I want to see you do, my friend, ooh, don't make Jory for the Slay mad. The last thing that I want to see you do is put this nasty beauty blender right back in your beauty bag and just let it sit there for 2 more weeks until you put on that full coverage makeup again. Whew, you're looking at a makeup artist's nightmare at that point, my friends, because these guys are just a sponge at the end of the day. These are collecting and harvesting bacteria that can be super harmful to your skin. So you know that last time that you broke out, you know the last time that your skin felt kind of weird and it stung a little bit, you know that last time that your makeup just didn't turn out right and it had that murky little brown tint to it? It's not because your makeup's bad, it's not because you have bad skincare, you might check out the skincare videos before, and it's not because like you're just a bad person or anything, it's because you have this nasty, dirty wop, beauty blender in your bag and you're not cleaning it or taking care of yourself. So with that being said, I have 2 things that might help you. Back to square one, clean your beauty blender. That is going to be the first and only thing that you can really do to help yourself. And the second one is, you can just use disposable sponges instead, guys. Alcone wedges are a great alternative to beauty blenders, and you can throw them out and keep them moving, and they're super cheap. Now, for more beauty blasts, make sure you're checking me out at Jeray for the Slay, or comment down below for what you want to see on the next beauty blast. We'll see you guys next time.
Christmas is over, and you know what that means? Cleanup time. Pack up those lights and decorations. But what about the Christmas tree? When do you take that down? Let's connect the dots. Tradition has it Christmas decorations, including the tree, stay up until the 12th night. That's 12 nights after Christmas. This year, it falls on Sunday, January 5th. Others believe you count the 12 days of Christmas starting the day after Christmas, making Monday, January 6th, the 12th night. Whichever 12th night you choose, if you take your tree down before then, some say it's bad luck. This stems from ancient times when people believed tree spirits lived in the holly and the ivy. They'd come out if they were let go before Christmas ended. And if you forget to take your tree down on the 12th night, one superstition says that's bad luck too. Some say you have to keep the tree up until Candlemas Day, which is February 2nd, or leave it up until the 12th night next year. At the end of the day, there is no real right answer as to when you need to pack up your Christmas tree, and that's connecting the dots.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back. Before we go, we want to give a big DBL shout out to Cameron Diaz and husband Benji Madden, who welcomed a baby girl today. The couple made the announcement on Instagram. They didn't give any details, but they did reveal the name, and it's Radix.
Radix Madden.
It's gonna have the nickname Rad. Hey, Rad.
Yeah.
Be Rad. You know. that's, when you think about children's name, are you thinking nicknames and stuff, or just people laughing?
My big thing was like rhyming. Does it rhyme with anything dirty? Could you easily make fun of it? You know what I mean? But you want to do something a little different outside the box. I mean, I don't know who thought of that name, but I would guess him being a rocker and stuff like Rad, that he came up with the name. But it'd be ironic if she did, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think she's obviously very private. I mean, we didn't really even know that there was a baby
Exactly.
coming.
No, good for them.
So, I mean, this is lovely. Congratulations. What a way to start the new year, eh?
I know, and I hope, you know, I like the way they did things. They kept it quiet, and I know the paparazzi's probably going to be all over it, trying to get a picture. I mean, look at me giving my advice, but like, control the situation. Give some pictures of the paparazzi, control the situation so you're not getting chased all over the place.
Absolutely.
Because that's what happened to me. I mean, they were all at my apartment door. All right, guys, we'll see you Monday. I'm totally lying. Have a good Friday.